Hey guys, this is Spoon YouTube here, and today I got you my hot take for really how you should be climbing, or at least how I'm climbing through the ranks here in Pokemon Unite. And I really find the best way is just to be able to deal all the damage in a game. Like, be that person who is hard carrying, putting the game on their back, and just straight up dealing the most damage, just trying to melt through stuff. And as you can see on the screen, I'm going to be saying that Cinderace is probably your best bet for that. And honestly, I don't even think there's really a close second, especially for the way the meta has shaken out right now because of the two problem Pokemon I posted about yesterday. And by the way, sorry on the audio on that video. Really was just trying to mix it and see how it sounded for the first time, and it was just too quiet. I'll make sure that the volume for my voice is definitely louder moving forward, and it should work out a little better. But as far as Cinderace goes, his moves, honestly, all of his stuff is single target early game, except like for Flame Charger, well, it's low sleep early, but except for low sweep, which, I mean, it can reposition you in a bad spot if you use it offensively, though. So even though it's AoE and you can hit multiple people with it, it's not really what you want to be doing with it unless it's, you know, you're usually just using it to close some distance to land the last few auto attacks you need. And Ember is just single target. So honestly, it doesn't really lend to him to be trying to do things that are clearing multiple Pokemon, such as, you know, fighting in the middle during lane phase when you would normally be trying to get those B Pokemon that are just in the middle of the lane. He doesn't do so well at, you know, completely wiping those out unless you go Pyro Ball, but you don't even get that until level 7. So the issue with that is you're really just kind of thirsting for XP the hardest that you can on Cinderace, because once you hit level 7 and you actually manage to evolve into Cinderace, the strength that you get from that is so humongous, just from the attack speed and extra damage he does. It is really just amazing how much damage he does. And then, yeah, these are low levels. You just get the guaranteed targeted Ember. So basically this champion, or not champion, but Pokemon is completely auto attack based for the most part. Yes, you're weaving in abilities, but for the most part you're just trying to land auto attacks safely, because with this character's passive you deal insane amounts of damage. And let's go over to that real quick just to show it. So when Pokemon uses a move, the next basic attack becomes a boosted attack. When the Pokemon hits an opposing Pokemon with a basic attack or a move, a Cinder is placed on them. Attacking a Cindered Pokemon adds additional number of times a Cinder, blah blah blah. When the Pokemon with this ability is at half or less HP, its critical rate and basic attack speed are increased for a short time. So essentially, anytime they get you below half, you get critical hit chance and extra attack speed. And it's very hard for people to really just burst you down because of the build that you should be going anyways. And then with the passive of the Cinder exploding for people on more exploding for more damage on people, got that mixed up a little bit. Exploding for more damage on people, it actually manages to do quite a bit of just consistent damage, and you can really out damage just about anybody as long as you use your abilities smart. So what you're going to be taking is at level 7, you're going to want to take Blaze Kick. You can do Pyro Ball. In fact, for a long time I was doing Pyro Ball just because it's easy to stack your damage on from a range. But the issue is, with the current meta of how things are shaking out, you don't really get the chance to use Pyro Ball to stack and do extra things, because if you are in Pyro Ball range, a lot of enemies can engage on you and you might just die. So what you kind of want to do instead of Pyro Ball is Blaze Kick, because essentially what it does is it gives you, as a auto attack based character, a CC move where as they're falling after you kick them from the Blaze Kick, you get at least like usually 1 to 2 auto attacks off for free, and it's always a critical hit. So you get a scope lens, you get extra damage on that, but it's always a critical hit. You deal a ton of extra damage igniting your passive, because this will put your passive on them, then you get the free auto attack, so you get your passive damage. And since it's a little displacement, a lot of times there are characters, and really the problem ones that I had talked about in my video yesterday, Cinderace and Gengar, those two in particular really get stuffed by this one move, because it kicks them a little bit and it shoves you back so you can create distance from them, but also that little bit of CC where they don't get to just mash their buttons on you and kill you is usually enough for you to chunk them to half, and at that point they freak out and try to throw their abilities at you, which is where your second ability comes in, Feint, and it just increases your move speed, but it gives you iframes, and essentially that you don't need much more on this character than extra move speed, extra attack speed, because you're just going to be raining in a bunch of basic attacks. So when somebody goes to dive on you and you've already hit them with Blaze Kick and they're CC'd, they're at half health, and let's say it's Cinderace, he goes to pop his Unite move, you hit Feint, and then it doesn't hit you for any damage because you're invincible, and then suddenly he's at half health, you've already got him marked again because you're sitting there swinging on him the whole time, and you have extra move speed from your Feint, and he's just trying to run away at that point. You essentially just basic attack most of anything to death, and you'll probably see that in at least a few times for sure in this gameplay that I got coming up, because it's really, as long as you use your head and you make sure to just outplay people's things that you know they're going to have to use or they lose the fight, you can very easily create meaningful advantages for yourself. And once you kill somebody on this character, you can seriously just run through and clear every single target camp where there's not a bunch of different mons for you to execute to get all the XP and stuff. And you will do very, very well. You really have to make sure that you're staying farmed, because if you have even just a little bit, like a 1 or 2 level lead on this character, usually means that you can almost one-piece somebody without them even realizing that you can realistically destroy them. And even like I've seen Lucarios, they'll just try to fight me and I'm like maybe a level up, or even I've been the same level and I just happen to be playing well and I got a couple scores in, and with that alone, that enough is for you to have enough going on in your favor to actually push the fights in your direction. And as long as you really like get the jump on people a lot of the times with this, because you just land like 1 to 2 auto attacks and then they try to turn on you, you flame kick them, and everything just starts to fall apart for them at that point, you can usually do very well. And even when they like, you know, eject switch out and stuff, then your Unite move, you just bank that on them, especially if it's something like Cinderace or Gengar, because you know once they disappear, they're going to go heal up real quick, clear a bunch of camps, and then just come back even stronger because they lost the fight. They're like, alright, I'm going to hard farm. So you're better off just annihilating them, going and clearing as much farm as you can so that they stay under leveled, and you can just continue to push your advantage. It is always in your best interest to just kill the person on their team that has the highest chance of killing you without you being able to respond in a fight. And a lot of the times that's going to be Cinderace and Gengar, and this character is probably the best offensive character to deal with either of those, because like I was already saying with Cinderace, you can dodge a lot of his stuff once he jumps in. And then for Gengar, once he hits you with the Sludge Bomb, if he does, because you should be trying to play around it at max range, your auto attack range is really long with this character. If he does hit you though, you hit Feint, and right as he goes to mash Hex, because you're invulnerable, it doesn't even let him target you, or if he does, it doesn't actually hit you. So his dash then goes on cooldown and he has completely lost the fight because you pressed Feint. That's all it takes. Or if he goes in on you, you usually get 2 pops. You can hit him with your Blaze Kick and then pop your Feint, so that after he drops and goes to hit you again, then it'll whiff, but he's already too far deep because, you know, you're half health and he wants to kill you, but then you get your extra critical rate and basic attack speed, so you can burn him down even faster. That's really like last ditch effort. Like he had to get in on you and you couldn't really get away from it, and you couldn't, you know, time your feint right because it just wasn't gonna work. But other than that, there's not a whole lot you can really do against those two characters. Zeraora and Gengar can just kind of delete whoever they want on the map, and Lucario is just so strong when he actually gets fed up that it's hard to deal with him unless you have something like this where you can go invulnerable when he wants to hit his burst damage on you, and then you can just run backwards and auto attack him, and he uses his dash again, and because of your move speed you sidestep it, and then you kick him, and suddenly he's only at like a quarter HP. And what's Lucario gonna do? Probably not a whole lot. So yeah, that's how I end up playing lane Cinderace, at least trying to just get as many of the single target camps that I can around the lane, and just kind of don't really want to fight too much early, but you kind of have to see if you can steal some camps from the neutral camps from the enemy so you can get some XP. And really the thing I hate the most about lane Cinderace is just that other people will take your XP. Like you'll be level 4 and about to level, and they just your ally's already level 5. They just need to let you last hit this one mon, and then they'll just sit there and last hit all the Pokemon. Like, even though you're trying to like save your abilities, they'll save their abilities and just out damage you because you're a basic attack champion or basic attack Pokemon, and you just end up stuffed for levels because your lane partner wanted a level. But the issue is, if the enemy Cinderace gets to level 7 because they didn't steal from that Cinderace, you're just going to get melted, and your friend or whoever's in lane with you is honestly just killing you because you're not going to be able to fight back against a Cinderace who's a level or 2 up on you. That's how the character goes. I'll run into Cinderaces who are like level 11 while I'm level 13. They can't fight it. Level 12 while I'm level 11. They can't fight it, and it just doesn't work out for them. But as far as items go for the character, come on. Yeah, I have it set to Absol because really I do like playing Absol, but it's just easier to carry on Cinderace because it doesn't require the enemy to make so many mistakes, and your team like can actually more actively play around a Cinderace than they can in Absol, because with the Absol they need to be paying attention, they need to know when they should be fighting, and you just can't get that a lot out of solo queue. But with Cinderace, with these items, it's the same as Absol anyways. You can deal an absolute insane amount of damage. The thing, people don't like the attack weight as an item, but the issue is you deal so much damage when you get this thing stacked that it doesn't make sense to really not take it. I mean, honestly, look, so you get 12 attack just about out of the muscle band, and this gives you 12 attack. Like, this has the one stat on that, and then if you stack this once, you've already essentially gotten you, because what I believe, the attack on, what is it, Floatstone, it's like 24 at like rank 30, and that gives you like an extra 5% on your basic attacks. So this, let's say 12 only gives you 2.5, so these both give you 2.5, but you stack this and it goes to 5% on your basic attacks versus almost any other item that you could put in this slot. Like, and let's see, so I don't think I have Floatstone that upgraded. Yeah, it's at 15, so it gives you 12 attack right here. So if you get it up to 20 like these guys are, and it probably only gives you at that like 18 attack, essentially you can outstack the damage at the same level for the Floatstone by scoring once. And if you don't score once, you're already going to be losing the game. So you really should be using these score items, and yes, Score Shield is really good, but on certain characters, the amount of damage that you can deal is much more important than just raw scoring. I mean, if you kill 2 to 3 people on Cinderace, you should be able to score as it is. And if you can get a couple of early scores, you've essentially sealed in the entire game. Because what are they going to do if you have 3 scores on this? And so that's 36 plus the 12. You have 48 attack extra. And you're going to, what? So that's an extra 10% on every single auto attack. You hit them 3-4 times. That's an extra 40% damage on your auto attacks just because you scored, you know, 3 times. and that's not very hard. You can score once and then go kill a camp and score again if you killed them at an inopportune time, where like there's an A-palm nearby and you have your abilities back up after scoring. You can just murder it real quick. It happens, and when that does, the game is sealed. All you have to do at that point is not throw, walk around, make sure you're auto-attacking everything that you can at every possible waking moment, and you get all the XP that you can, and you just keep laying your auto attacks into things. There really shouldn't be a whole lot of time where you're running around the map and not pressing the A button, like at all, A or B, depending on what you're doing for farming the camps. You could just be mashing B to guarantee that if somebody shows up, you get the camp before you leave. Happens. But yeah, so attack weight is really an important item, and it is really good. A lot of people aren't fans of it, especially without the score shield, but really, even without the score shield, just getting this stacked once or twice really does make the difference. And then once it starts snowballing in your direction, the more stacks you get, it just seals the deal even more. Because you get so much crit on this guy when you fall below half HP, extra crit chance and crit damage are very important. You end up absolutely melting people once they get you to half, and if you go invulnerable right there, you can just seriously chunk somebody for almost all of their HP a lot of the times, and they won't even see it coming. Muscle band, and again, stacking extra percent damages on your auto attacks. If your auto attacks are dealing an extra 10% damage and 3% of the opponent's health on top, then you're going to absolutely melt. Like, anything that you end up auto attacking, and especially like this item helps you really get through things like Snorlaxes and Crustle, because sometimes you just have to. Like, a lot of times you want to just ignore Crustle, but Crustle can actually just kill you if you do not lay into him. So you just kind of have to, and deal with it. Just keep auto attacking, and you'll burn through him. At some point, he'll have to start running away, and you can lay your abilities into him then and usually catch him. Like, this character just does everything that you could want and carries super, super hard, as you'll see in this upcoming game. So, yeah. I spent a long time just talking about Cinderace and playing him in lane. So, I really have started enjoying Cinderace Jungle, though, and I'll get a video of that up tomorrow. Hopefully you guys like the Cinderace game. Peace out. Catch you later. Be kind of live. Let's go. Oh, you're fine. Alright, so again, I got 0 aura. People never respected 0 aura's lane damage. Especially with passive on this. Really just gonna hit Raboot. Okay, sick. He just deals ungodly amounts of damage. And you let him score. Awesome. I just gotta go save this guy's. We have a hunter that doesn't want to kill people. He wants to clear things. Seth, why are you going to take me? team was throwing the freaking game, but sometimes you just got thrown in the goddamn back, and Cinderace can really do it. Haven't really used Blaze Kick too much before, but that right there was the contender for it. You get to stop the assassins from murdering you and dip about 3 hits into them. Easy kills.